single night. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter said 3 words: stay away from the USA. 150,000 Dutch fans signed a petition demanding their national team boycott the tournament. 23 British members of parliament called for England and Scotland to pull out entirely. And here's the line that changes everything for us. A fan posted, "We were expecting to go to the World Cup, but now we don't dare visit. We might go to Canada instead." The biggest sporting event on earth is becoming a political crisis, and Canada, as co host, is sitting in the most valuable seat at the table. But there's a detail in the hosting agreement that most people don't know, and it could shift billions in tourism revenue northward. I break down every major shift that affects Canada. Subscribe and hit the bell. To understand why fans are walking away, you need to see the timeline. It started with travel bans. 4 qualified World Cup nations, Iran, Haiti, Senegal, Ivory Coast, have fans who are completely banned from entering the United States. Banned! They qualified for the biggest tournament in their country's history, and their fans can't go. Then ICE raids started making international news. Videos of enforcement operations in American cities went viral overseas. Fans from Europe, Africa, South America started asking the same question: is it safe to visit? Then Trump threatened to annex Greenland. A German Football Federation vice president, Oke Göttlich, said publicly it was time to seriously consider a boycott. He compared it to the Olympic boycotts of the 1980s. What were the justifications then? By my reckoning, the potential threat is greater now. A French MPC called for the tournament to be moved entirely out of the US and played only in Canada and Mexico. England's official LGBTQ plus supporter group, Three Lions Pride, announced they would not attend. Safety concerns. Danish fans said they would refuse to travel to any US hosted match even if Denmark qualifies. And then the Iran war started. The US and Israel launched strikes, killing Iran's supreme leader. Now, Iran, a qualified team, doesn't even know if it can participate. FIFA had already given Trump a peace prize at the tournament draw in December. That decision now looks like a stain on the entire organization. FIFA was forced to call an emergency meeting. The hashtag Boycott World Cup is trending globally, and the question everyone is now asking: where do the fans go instead? There are only 2 other co-hosts. Mexico has its own security concerns. That leaves one country. And what Canada does with that moment, that's the part nobody is talking about yet. Here's what most coverage is missing. Canada co-hosts this World Cup. Toronto, Vancouver, both hosting matches. And unlike the United States, Canada has no travel bans against any qualified World Cup nation. None. Mexico doesn't either, but Canada has something Mexico doesn't: proximity, infrastructure, and a reputation that right now is the exact opposite of what the US is projecting. Think about it from a European fan's perspective. You bought a ticket to a match in the US, but you're nervous about border enforcement, about the political climate, about safety. You look at the map and see that Toronto is closer to many US host cities than those cities are to each other. Vancouver is a world-class destination, and Canada is actively welcoming international visitors while America is actively discouraging them. The economic numbers are staggering. FIFA's own study with the World Trade Organization projected the World Cup would contribute $17.2 billion to the US GDP, 185,000 full-time jobs. But that projection assumed full international attendance. Every fan who cancels a US trip but still wants to experience the World Cup atmosphere, where do they go? They go to the co-host that isn't making them feel unwelcome. Now here's the connection that ties this to everything Carney has been doing. While Trump is alienating the world's soccer fans, Carney is in Australia building a middle powers alliance. While the US is banning citizens from 4 qualified nations, Canada is signing trade deals with India, deepening ties with Japan, positioning itself as the open, trusted, democratic alternative. This isn't just about soccer. The World Cup is the most watched event on Earth. 5 billion viewers in 2022. Every empty seat in an American stadium, every fan who redirects to Canada, every news story about the boycott. That's a global advertisement for exactly the brand Carney is building. The country that welcomes while others exclude, the country that cooperates while others coerce. And the timing is extraordinary. The tournament runs June 11th to July 19th. The CUSMA trade deal is up for renegotiation this year. Carney is building a CPTPP-EU bridge. Every world leader, every business executive, every diplomat who watches the World Cup will see a split screen. American stadiums under boycott, Canadian stadiums full. You can't buy that kind of positioning. Let me put the full picture together. The world's biggest sporting event is 3 months away. The primary host country has travel bans against 4 qualified nations, a political climate that's driving fans away, and a president whose actions just triggered a global boycott movement. Canada, the co-host, has none of those problems. 0 travel bans on qualified nations, a government actively building international goodwill, and 2 world-class host cities ready to absorb overflow demand. Here's why this doesn't reverse. The boycott isn't about one issue. It's about accumulation, travel bans, ICE enforcement, Greenland threats, the Iran war, the Peace Prize controversy. Each one adds to the pile. Even if one issue resolves, the others remain. And the World Cup is in 3 months. Fans are making travel decisions right now. Once you cancel a US trip and book Canada instead, you don't rebook. The tourism infrastructure is already built. Hotels, transportation, fan zones. Toronto and Vancouver have been preparing for years. Every redirected fan spends money in Canada, not the US. Every redirected media crew broadcasts from Canadian soil. Every redirected corporate hospitality event signs contracts with Canadian vendors. And think about the long game. The 2028 Olympics are in Los Angeles. If the World Cup boycott movement succeeds, even partially, it sets a precedent. Countries that alienate the world lose the economic benefit of hosting. Countries that welcome the world gain it. Canada just happens to be standing right next to the country learning that lesson in real time. I believe this is the largest unplanned economic opportunity Canada has received in a generation. Not because we asked for it, because someone else fumbled it. If you think Canada should be talking about this opportunity, hit the like button. Let's get this conversation started. The World Cup starts June 11th. Between now and then, every canceled American ticket, every redirected travel plan, every new boycott petition, it all flows in one direction. Toward the co-host that kept its doors open, toward the co-host that didn't ban anyone, toward Canada. My question for you: if fans redirect to Canada, which city benefits more, Toronto or Vancouver? And should Canada be actively marketing itself as the welcoming alternative? Or should it stay quiet and let the contrast speak for itself? Tell me in the comments. 16,000 tickets canceled in one night. 150,000 signatures in the Netherlands. British MPs calling for a pullout. Former FIFA president saying stay away, and one fan saying 6 words that tell the whole story: we might go to Canada instead. In sport, you don't always win by being the best. Sometimes you win by being the one still standing when everyone else walks off the field. The boycott makes a lot more sense when you see the Middle Powers Alliance Carney just announced in Sydney. The bigger picture of Canada positioning itself as the global alternative to American unpredictability. I broke that down fully. That video is right here. I'll see you there.